it's Mina, and I'm going to be rereading you Bambi in the new reading corner. And I'm going to stop the video at 12 minutes just so I don't have to read it in 3 parts. Well, I might have to read it in 3 parts, I don't know. So I'm just going to stop it at 3 minutes. Okay, and I have, not 3 minutes, I mean 12, sorry. So I have my bookmark here so I know when to stop. Stop and, okay, I'm gonna get ready. Here is what the inside of it looks like. One day as the sun rose, there was great excitement in the forest. The first morning rays lightly touched the top of the big trees. Deep in the forest, all the animals were awakening. Springtime had finally come, and leaves were sprouting everywhere. The squirrel, who lived in the top of the big tree, stretched and yawned. Mr. Owl, who had been hunting all night long, and who was very tired, hardly noticed the squirrel jumping from branch to branch. "Hello, Miss Mouse," said the squirrel to a little mouse who was strolling by. "Did you know it's springtime again?" she asked, with a happy smile on her face. "Yes, it's lovely, and in a blink of an eye it'll be summer again. Time for raspberry and strawberry picking," chattered the squirrel. "And what about a little race to the big pine tree?" he continued. As soon as they started running, they were joined by Thumper the rabbit. "Quick, quick!" twittered 2 flying birds. "Hurry, hurry!" repeated a group of rabbits that had suddenly popped out. "He's been born! He's been born!" they all sang. "Who's been born?" asked the squirrel. "The little fawn has been born, Bambi, the son of the great stag." All of the animals and birds went to welcome him. Flying and crawling, jumping, they were all there. Everyone wanted to see the little prince. "Where is he? Where is he?" The fawn was still sleeping against his mother. All the hustle and bustle hadn't awakened him yet. Mother Deer gave him a tender careness. The fawn opened his eyes and looked around. "Here are all your friends," said his mother. "They've all come to see you and say hello." Thumper, who was a daring little rabbit, came closer and said, "We promise to be good with Bambi. We will all look after them." All the animals nodded their heads. For a moment Bambi looked a little frightened, then he tried to stand. At first his legs wobbled, but as soon as he stood firmly and without shaking. Thumper asked, "What is your name, little fawn?" "Bambi," answered the fawn shyly. "That's a pretty name," said the rabbit. "My name is Thumper, and I think we'll be good friends. I know a lot of games, you see." Everybody went back home to spread the news of the new arrival, except for Thumper, who was impatient to play with Bambi, but Bambi had already fallen asleep again. Thumper could hardly wait for him to wake up so that they could play together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bambi was learning to count. Mrs. Quail is teaching him, and he repeats the numbers after her. It's easy to count when each number has the shape of a little quail. As Bambi got a little older, he loved to walk along the leafy paths of the forest, finding new surprises every day. One day he found some opossums hanging upside down. How strange, he thought. He bent over to see how things looked from upside down. He soon gave up because he was getting quite dizzy. Sometimes Bambi played with Thumper the rabbit, who showed him all sorts of new things and told him their names. "Those are birds," said Thumper, and Bambi said birds. It was fun to see so many different things and to be able to give them a name. When a butterfly came along, Bambi proudly called out, "Bird, bird." "No, that's not a bird," said Thumper with a big laugh. "Then it's a flower that flies," Bambi suggested. "Flowers don't fly," replied Thumper. "What is it then?" Bambi asked, very puzzled. "It's a butterfly," pronounced Thumper. "It's very pretty. If I weren't a fawn, I would like to be a butterfly," declared Bambi. "It's wonderful to live here with so many friends and so many things to discover." Bambi was a good student. He remembered everything he had been taught. One day he was playing in the field when something with a small black pointed nose popped out of the flowers. "Are you a rabbit?" Bambi asked. "No, sir." "Are you a mouse?" he asked. "No, sir." "Are you a squirrel then?" "What are you?" "I've never seen anybody like you," Bambi continued. "I'm a skunk," came the answer. "Look at my beautiful fur," the skunk said. "You do have beautiful fur," replied Bambi, who couldn't help thinking that the skunk was bragging a little. Thumper, who happened to pass by, added, "Your fur may be beautiful, but skunks stink," and burst into laughter. "I didn't smell anything," said Bambi, "and his fur is beautiful." He didn't need to say any more. He had found a new friend. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. The sun wasn't always shining in the forest. "The forest is crying. Look, tears are falling on the leaves," Bambi said to his mother one day. His mother explained to him that it was raining. "You see, it's only a big cloud up in the sky that has just burst, and now, thanks to the water, all of the leaves will be greener and new flowers will grow and bloom." Bambi wasn't the only one to wonder about the rain. Up in their nest, the newborn birds had a bad surprise when this unexpected shower started. Unfortunately, their mother spread her wings, and it was nice and warm underneath. Like being under a big umbrella. All of the birds went back to sleep to the sound of the raindrops falling. When the shower was over, everything looked brand new. The grass, the flowers, the bright leaves. Bambi jumped with pleasure. "Summer is coming," he shouted, bubbling with excitement. One morning, Thumper came hopping along, saying, "Bambi, I discovered a wonderful place. Let's go there." There together. "My mother doesn't like me to go too far. She says it's dangerous for fawns." "We won't stay long, and besides, it's full of delicious things to eat." Thumper knew that Bambi wouldn't resist such an offer. "For things to eat?" Bambi said, suddenly becoming interested. "Well, let's go then. Why are we wasting time?" Both of them started running, and Bambi thought he had never seen so many trees. It seemed as if the forest would never come to an end. They finally arrived to the edge of a big meadow, which looked like a large carpet strewn with flowers. "Here it is," Thumper proudly exclaimed. "Time for a snack. All these pink flowers are delicious," he said, biting one. "Why don't you do the same, Bambi?" Both of them started eating with very big appetites. "I will become the fattest rabbit in the forest, and you will grow to be so tall that you will be able to reach the top of the trees," announced Thumper, disappearing into the carpet of flowers. "I'm thirsty," said Bambi after a while. "Well, there is a puddle not far from here," Thumper said, between mouthfuls. Bambi was amazed how much his friend knew. The two animals set out to find this new destination. Suddenly, something sprang out. Sorry, my nose was itchy. sprang up out of the grass. Bambi, startled, saw the green thing vanish into the pool of water. "That's a frog. It lives near the water, and we disturbed him, so that's why it's hiding," Thumper explained. "Then when we are gone, it will poke its head out of the water again and play hide and seek with the other frogs." Bambi moved closer to the water's edge, but as he bent over to drink, he saw another fawn exactly like him looking back. "You always see yourself in the water," explained Thumper. "It's called a reflection." There was always more for Bambi to learn. "Hello, Bambi," said a voice. This time it wasn't a reflection. It was a real little doe who smiled at him. Bambi was surprised that he bounded up, but he also felt very shy. The doe wasn't. She introduced herself. "My name is Faline. I'm your cousin. Would you like to play with me?" she said as she ran off. Bambi began running too, but in his excitement he tripped and fell in the water. Faline helped him get up. Both of them were playing when they saw two does coming in their direction. "Look, Bambi, look who's coming," Faline said. Bambi's mother and another doe that Bambi didn't know were approaching. "That's my mother," Faline added, "and she's your aunt." Soon Bambi and Faline were playing happily together, chasing each other around the hills, hiding in the bushes and over the trees. Every day they played new games. The whole forest was like a wonderful park for them, and they only stopped playing at night. Bambi and Faline were always together, and Thumper was a bit jealous. "Your cousin is a sissy," he said one day. "She never wants to play with me." "No, she isn't," said Bambi. "Besides, if you ate less clover, your belly wouldn't be so fat, and you'd run faster, then you could come and play with us." One day Bambi and Faline went with their mothers to the clearing where several deer had gathered. "Who are they waiting for?" asked Bambi. "They are waiting for the king of the forest, the big stag." "You will be the happiest and proudest of them all," said his mother. "Why?" asked Bambi, again very impressed. "The big stag is your father, and that's why everybody calls you Little Prince," answered his mother. Okay, so the video is getting long, so I'm just going to stop it here, and I hope you guys like it. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next part. Goodbye.